לו שאתה מעוניין להצטרף, אנחנו נראה אותך גם באפריקה.
קפצתי למקום הראשון, אם אתה לא יודע. אני רק מחפש את היד, אתה מוכן לטוס לי?
כן?
יופי, טוב, ערב טוב, בוא נראה. Anybody here speaks only English? Okay, so let's talk English. It's a good practice for all of us. So, good evening. I hope that the Iranians will not disturb us during this meeting. Let's just start and hope for the best. I hope everybody is okay. So, Africa Safari intro meeting. There are trips in the world with small planes, and there are safari in Africa, flying safaris. I did them both, and I think that's really a bucket list for every pilot that wants to experience really all things. So let's dive into the presentation. But before that, I want to remind you, first of all, this is recorded. So if you want to say something that nobody will hear, so mute yourself. And the second thing, I will post the recording on the group. So feel free to share it and to look again if there is anything that you missed. Let me just make sure that I'm recording it. Yes, I am. Okay, good. Just so you know, we had to cancel our Florida trip because we are stuck here in Israel. We do have a trip to Oshkosh in July. I remind everybody that wants to join to Oshkosh to let me know today so we can book the accommodation and work on reserving planes. There is the fall foliage trip in October. There is going to be again the Florida Loop, it's not Loon, and the Sun and Fun in April 4th next year. Until we'll keep on trying until we beat Florida, and there are more. And today we're going to talk about our highlight of 2027, the Africa trip. What I'm going to talk about are the following. I will briefly talk about what Skyways is doing here, because it's not a regular trip. And actually, I'll say it right now. We are working with a local provider that will take care on the planes separately and the trip separately. Actually, these are two companies in South Africa owned by the same person, but one is defined as leasing company for planes and the other one is tourism company. So when you sign the agreement, you will sign two agreements with them, one for the company, one for the planes and one for the other parts of the trip. We'll talk about the plan of the trip plan every day. I will go over it day by day. We'll talk about the license validation process. There are two options to do that. And there is an option not to validate your license, just take a local pilot. I will show you what are the planes that we are going to fly. I will give you the cost. You will see it's a table, depends on which plane you are flying and how many people are you in the planes, and if you need or you don't need. It's going to be a little bit complicated, but we'll try to make it simple. We talk about the payment schedule, and I would like to remind a travel insurance, which is important in this trip, and way ahead, and that is going to be all. So the trip, We are starting from Pretoria, just adjacent to Johannesburg, South Africa. And the first day of the trip, I will show you with dates later on the calendar. There is actually day 0, which starts a day before day 1, in which we will meet there. We'll have final briefings for the pilots and for everybody who is interested. So the day after, we will be able to depart. Your trip is covered from day 0, from the day you arrive there. So day 1, we have a pretty long flight into Botswana. We will cross the border at Gaborone, and we'll fly low level over the Kalahari Desert. This is what you see in the yellow line, until we land in a landing strip somewhere, Deception Valley, never been there, in which we are going to stay 2 nights. Generally, we will try to, the trip is planned, so in most of the nights, most of the places, we will stay 2 nights, which is very good. 1 day for flying and another day for ground excursions, because seeing from the ground is a very important part of the trip. So night 1 is going to be there. The day 2, the same place, we're going to do some game drives. We'll see all the wonderful things that are there, meet the local tribe, and that is going to be the second day. Then day 3, we'll have a relatively short flight, but it should be very beautiful, very scenic flight to Okavango. Okay, I don't know exactly what it means. Then they wrote in this plan, Sundowners on the deck. Sundowner is a South African tradition of drinking mainly gin and tonic, but anything goes when the sun goes down on the sunset. So day 3 we'll fly and land there at the, whatever the name is, Okavango.
Okavango Delta.
Okavango. And then day 4, again, we will have a day on the ground. It is going to be Saturday. So that's a day that people who observe Saturday will be able to just stay in the camp until Motzei Shabbat. Then day 5, we're going to fly along the river to see the Victoria Falls, the Chobe River, I think, and over the falls. We will fly over the falls, which is in Zimbabwe and Zambia. We will fly on both sides of the border, I believe. And then we will visit the falls on foot. This is the only place in which we are going to stay all night. Let me try to let the poor guy in. So this is the day number 5 near the Victoria Falls. That's the only night that we're going to stay 1 night at the same place. And the day after, we fly in Zimbabwe down to the Limpopo Valley. This time, I'm just saying the names of the places because I've never been there. We will stay there again 2 nights. With the 7th day, we will go and see the game, the animals, and that's all. And then we'll continue to the last place we will stay, again 2 nights, near the Kruger Park. We'll fly over the Kruger Park, and we'll then on day 9, we will go to see the Big 5 and campfires and game walks and everything that the Kruger area can offer. And then on the 10th day, we'll just fly back. There is another scenic fly over the Blythe Canyon and back into Wonderboom Airport. So that's the plan. And if you want to see how it looks on the calendar, so we start, the day 0 is on Tuesday, July 6th. Day 1 is Wednesday. It's a flying day. Thursday is a day on the ground. Then Friday, flying again. Saturday, it's a Shabbat. So if you're not keeping the Shabbat, we will have both rides and boats, and then that's the plan. We finish everything on Friday. We don't have a long flight on Friday, so again, it's not going to interfere with the Shabbat. So that's the plan. Does anybody have questions about the trip plan? Okay.
Yeah, I have one.
Yep.
Hi, it's Sur from Aya.
Yeah.
Regarding the type of the fly, is it a VFR, IFR?
VFR.
VFR. And what are the heights that you're climbing? Flight level.
The flight level that we are flying, or
Yes, correct. For the whole route.
It's VFR, low level, period.
Okay. And in case of an emergency, if one of the plane is getting stuck or something, this is the start of the route.
I just asked about if you understand about the plan. Let's leave the other questions to the end, okay?
Okay, sure. Thank you.
Thanks. Okay, we're talking about top-notch accommodations.
Alon, quick question, quickly.
Yes, Shmuley.
Is there a way to see which days are going to be safari game days and which ones will be like Victoria Falls or?
Yes, that's exactly what I showed right now. You are driving, so you can see, but if you take a glance on the screen now, that's exactly.
Okay, I see. Awesome, perfect.
Okay, and Shabbat is the one that is circled, that is
awesome,
framed in yellow.
And by the way, it's all also in the website of Skyways.
Oh, fantastic.
Yes, also in the website, correct. Todaita. Other questions about the trip, the plan? Okay, accommodations. As I said, we are looking at top-notch accommodations, but we cannot guarantee these accommodations exactly will be until we put the down payment and book them. So these are the actual pictures of places that we are planning to stay in, but the places will be defined after we put the down payment and block these accommodations. But anyway, the plan is, as I told you, if it's not going to be that one, it's going to be another one, and the same level. License validation. So South Africa has two types of license validation for holders of foreign license. One is for 28 days, private pilots validation, and it's a process, a relatively easy process that takes 2 days. Day one, it has a briefing and a flying, and the second day is another briefing of our specific route and some kind of a test flight with an instructor to do the actual validation. It's going to be also ground evaluation, and that's one type of validation. And a second type of validation is for 5 years. It takes 3 days, and it has more flight hours, a little bit more briefings, and it has also another type of test. Nothing like we we have here in Israel, but it has a little bit more, and it takes 3 days. So these are the two options. What I'm planning to do.
It's
I'm
not a
planning.
check ride with Mike.
Say again.
Not a check ride with Mike.
Something like that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to fly there coming June, in 2 months, if flights will be possible here, because I want to see the place to get the feeling of how they operate, and on the same time do the 5 years validation. But it's perfectly possible to plan it before our trip, to come 2 or 3 days later and to do the validation. So these are the two types of validation that we can do. Anybody who holds foreign license can do it based on your foreign license and foreign medical certificate.
Yeah, I want to ask about this. Is it also relevant for ESA holding license?
I'm almost, yeah, I'm sure, yes.
Also
I think-
ESA, okay.
Yes, it's for any holder of known country. ISA, of course, is
And Aloni, if I'm asked, so where do you do that? Do we do that in Pretoria, where the trip begins?
Yes,
Okay.
it's there. It's the same Vanderboom Airport or another airport nearby. But
Okay.
it's going to be there.
And I want to ask if you know figures of cost, or you're gonna keep it to the section of cost.
Yes, I will tell you everything about the cost very soon.
Okay.
So Alon, we supposed to schedule our arrival 2 days earlier than the 0 day?
Something like that. If you want to do the validation adjacent on the same trip, yes. So 2 or 3 days before, and do this on the days before the trip, and then you're good to go.
Thank you.
On my first safari trip, that's what we did. We came 3 days before and did the validation, and it was quite easy. Especially if you're looking at the 28 days, I think it does not involve anybody from the civil aviation there. It's just something internal. I will explore it a little bit more thoroughly after we put together the people that in the group and we're sure who is coming.
The 28 days, there's something similar in Europe, but the problem is that it takes a few other days for the validation through the local authorities. So we also need to check if like the 2 days coming before day 0 will be enough to validate through the like local FAA.
I will fine tune it once we know who is coming, who needs what type of validation, and then we will do it. Again, I'm planning to come before for a separate trip. There's another guy that I think Sol is going to fly with him, who told me Avi is going to come with me to do the 5 years validation this year. And so everybody, once we have a group, we will fine tune it according to your preferences. Other questions about the validation? Okay, so let's go.
The aircraft you said is a C-180 or 206s.
Eric, I didn't understand. What did you say?
You said that the planes that we are going to fly there are the 182s or 206s.
Yes.
So we need another type validation, right? I guess most are holders of
in modern countries other than Israel, once you have a single engine land plane that weighs below 5 tons, you only do a check ride. You don't need to do a type rating for that.
Understood.
But you do need your high performance endorsement.
I'm not sure about it, but if we I will check that and
Okay,
let you know.
because in the US you need to have a high performance endorsement for the 182s. So I'm not sure how it is over there.
Yeah, it's 200 280 horsepower, so everything beyond 200 you need high performance. And
Maybe-
the cost also.
Maybe it's a part of the validation, but let me check it. I will check with them, and I will
But
let
I
you know.
also assume that you can have the high performance. I don't remember how you call it. The high performance endorsement also in Israel or wherever you are. You don't necessarily need to be in Africa in order to do it.
Yes,
Yeah, I already got one, but if I
Yeah,
didn't
yeah.
have one, I guess I should have gotten one, right? For the 182 over there.
Yeah, this is for
Yes.
sure.
it's a good question. I will just check it with them, and I will let you know what's
Sounds
the
good. Thank you.
what's the deal here. So these are the planes. As you can see, they have their own 6 planes. They never let all 6 of them go on a trip because they want to keep one just in case they need to fly for a broken plane or something like that. They have 3 182s and 3 206s. So according to our preferences, we can rent 4 or even 5 planes for the trip.
אתה רוצה לשים משהו על הרצפה או ישר?
אבי, תעשה מיוט בבקשה.
אני לא על מיוט?
אתה לא על מיוט. So these are the planes, just so you know, tires, etc., with the Garmin on each plane, and they are all 6-pack, not glass cockpit, according to what I understand.
Alon, it says that all of them are having large tires for bush trips. Does that imply also about the landing that we're going to have there?
Yes, we will definitely land in strips that are not what we normally land. Yes.
Concrete paved. Okay, thanks.
I don't know exactly where, but yes, we will land in landing strips from all sorts. Good. Let's continue. Let's talk about the cost.
One second, Alon, quick question. Alon,
Yes.
are we limited to their airplanes, or can we rent or find alternatives over there? Are there any requirements if we are bringing our own airplane?
I didn't check that. I don't know. I think that this is kind of a package deal with them that includes the flight hours, etc. I don't know if we can bring our own planes.
Okay.
If it's important, I will check.
Okay, I'll let you know.
Okay. So this is the cost per person on each type of plane, depending on how many people are on each plane, and if you need or you don't need a safety pilot. The first option is not really valid because putting 5 people on a 206 is a little bit too condensed, in my opinion, even though 206 has 6 seats, but weight and balance wise, it is very limited. I think it will be limited, but all the other options are valid ones. The price includes 15 flight hours, wet flight hours, and the safety pilot were in each line that it indicates. All the accommodations on a full board basis across the trip from day 0 to the 10th day, all the ground activities and game drives, all the souvenirs that we produce, and the video and the shirt and cup and whatever we will decide to produce. What is not included, all the personal expenses, of course, and if there is bar, alcohol, etc., all the flight hours above 15 hours, and the hourly rate is indicated here. All the insurances, I will talk about trip cancellation. I strongly advise to buy trip cancellation, all the personal health insurance. and anything that happens before and after the trip, including international flights, etc. So these are the prices, and below are the prices of the courses. And the courses are, and these are the costs for the 28 and the 5 years validation accordingly, which includes all the expenses covering the process, all the accommodations, and not including meals at all, because the hotel in which we are going to stay does not provide meals. So these are the prices. If you guys have any questions about the prices, and I'm sorry it goes down to the dollar because that's how we got it. So I didn't want to change.
So how many hours do you expect? How many flight hours are you expecting in this trip?
The trip is 1,400 nautical miles. So normally it's 14, 15 hours.
So like with 100 miles an hour, around 1,500. Okay, makes sense.
Yeah,
So
something
it
like
would be
that.
covered.
I think these planes can fly faster, but we will not be very efficient if I understand correctly. We will circle around places. We will play around. So 1,400 nautical miles is the estimate that we're going to do. Other questions, guys? Let's move on.
It's US dollars, right?
Mother, what's that?
US dollars.
Yes.
Canadians.
Yeah.
South African.
South Africa. Okay. So the payment schedule is as follows. First is we're paying 30% when we book the trip, and we can do it actually whenever we want. However, until we pay this down payment, nothing is reserved. And the lodges are going to be very quickly captured by others. The planes, they will not hit us too much. So I think that in the next month or two, we must place the booking. Otherwise, we will not be able to get what we want. And then 90 days prior, we will pay another 30%. It's going to be April 5th, 2027. And then 60 days prior, we will pay the full balance. And after the trip, we might need to do some payments for extra hours that we did, if we did. So this is a small change. Very important to understand that in Africa, all the payments are non-refundable. That's how they work. And that's why I strongly recommend the cancellation insurance. And there are also price changes that may apply for fuel and for accommodations, for any part that we didn't pay before. So just we need to keep in mind that that's another thing that might change, but the price also already includes a certain increase in the payment, the normal increase in payment. So it shouldn't be too difficult here. So these are the details about the payment, prices and payment schedule. Any questions about it?
I guess
Good.
that's why we're doing it a year out, because this year it's kind of too late on availability issues.
Yes, on both the lodges and even the planes, because eventually they are going to rent all the planes every year. That's what they say. And I remember from the times that I used to do the safaris in Africa, all the planes are booked eventually. So right now we are on their calendar, but we will have to put the down payment soon. I strongly advise us to do the cancel for any reason option of cancellation. There is a trip guarantee here in Israel. I'm not sure exactly how it works, but they can do it. And I believe that in the United States, there might be even other options and maybe even more cost effective. I'm not sure about it, but that's something that I would recommend. We are, and I want to really stress that this time we are doing the administration of the trip and everything that concerns the planes and the lodges, etc., is being done by a local agent, which I think he has a good record. I looked online and looked for him. I don't know them personally, but as I told you, I do plan to fly there and visit and get the impression of how they do their operation. So what do we have to do? First of all, we need to get in groups. Who is going to be on each plane? And it's going to be on the basis of first come, first served until we fill the group. And then we'll do the down payment. I'm going to try to negotiate keeping the down payment until I visit there. I'm not sure I will manage. So I can see how they do the business. I'm not sure it will work. And then we need to define when we do this validation as needed, and then start packing for the trip. Don't pack too much. The planes cannot take too much weight. Questions and comments?
It sounds really, really nice, and thank you very, very much for the overview. It really does sound really exciting. Can you tell us a little bit, how do you fly VFR in South Africa? I assume they have VFR waypoints. I assume there are any chart supplements. How does it work there?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
There is no rule in South Africa that you have to obey the rules. I flew there twice, in South Africa and Namibia. We never, ever, even one time in 11 days, talked on the radio with anybody.
Wow.
Okay. Wait. No. Even we crossed the border. We exited South Africa via an airport, port of entry, but nobody was there. So we landed and waited for them to open. And then we entered Namibia, and nobody spoke with us at any time. You don't submit a flight plan. There are no waypoints. You will learn whatever you have to learn about it, but normally you fly there, even less restricted than United States.
So when you do your flight plan, how do you do that? So there is a GPS system. How do you fly? How do you actually fly?
You apply full thrust. At the rotation speed, you pull, and then you fly. If you have time, you turn on the radio. You have to do it because we will speak between ourselves. You are by your own there. It's just flying in the wilderness. So I believe that in Wonderboom, where we are going to do the validation and where we're taking out, it's an international airport, and then we will do I think we'll land at Gaborone, which is Zimbabwe. We might need to speak on the radio, but normally you're just flying.
So no Bravos, no Charlies, just fly as free as you like.
But we will get
when you pull the stick, the houses get smaller.
Yes.
Crazy. All right, thank you.
Yes. Other questions, guys? Sorry, you had questions before.
Regarding this an emergency, you said that they're reserving a plane for in any case of an emergency, a broken plane or something.
Yes, that's right. There is a very detailed lease agreement that we will sign. They are responsible to fix the plane unless the damage was done as a part of negligence by us. And there is also a note there that maybe Yariv will check later on and see about if it's being done out of South Africa, which is most of our trip. Then there are extra costs for us to bring the people there or whatever. There is something about it. But normally there will be a pilot with us, a local pilot with us in the group. And from my experience, most of the time they are capable of closing the loop by themselves. They don't need somebody to bring. But if there is an emergency, yes, it's going to be. We'll have to figure it out on the go.
So eventually one of us is going to be piloting command and the other one will be just observing. And in case of an emergency or something, he will take taking command or something?
It depends if the pilot, if a pilot has a local validation, he is the pilot in command in each flight that they decide. And the safety pilot, if you need a safety pilot, he is there for safety. However, if you don't want to mess around with all the validation process, then you can decide that you want to have a safety pilot on your plane, and you can fly according to what you choose with him.
But you cannot register those hours as a pilot in command.
That's right. You cannot.
Okay. Thank you.
Alon, there are 14 hours per plane for this trip. Average, if we are free, let's say 4-point-something, 5 hours per pilot. Is that right?
Yes, it depends how you.
Yes, of course. How are we sharing the road?
Yes, it's your call. Whatever you do. If you are 3 pilots, then divide it by 3. If you're 10, it depends.
So you mean the price is per, like, okay, so the price was per plane, like 206, like the Cessna 206, and like the 15K is split, like it's for the 15 hours bank, right? So you split it how you want it, because there's also the gross motor that you need to pay, like, you know, housing and the trip and administration.
I didn't understand, Leo. Say again.
The price that you said that it's like there was the table of pricing for the planes.
For each.
So it's like
it depends on the how many
person, right?
It's per person, yes.
But the question is, like, if it's not 15 hours because it's a split, like, because as Yariv said, it's like if you split it between 2 people, it's like 7.5 hours for each one. So it's the price like for 7.5 hours for like 15K for 7.5 hours.
Yes. What we did is just we got from them a price for the plane.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. If there is the cost for like the plane plus the administrative cost, like hotels and all.
No, they didn't break it down like this. That's the way they are giving it to us.
But how we can split it by person? Because it's like it makes no sense if someone will be like 7 hours, like, or 4 hours piloting command. The same will be the same price for someone that will take the 15 hours.
They are pricing a flight hour at $240 for 182 and $280 for 206. You can. That's the part of the plane.
All right. So basically, if like between the group, so basically you can.
Yeah, you can do your calculation between you guys, and say who wants to pay more or less or fly more or less. But that's the part of the plane.
Yeah, because I'm a bit confused because in the title it's written cost price per passenger, while as per my understanding, please keep me honest
For
here.
a person, sorry.
This is,
One-
for example, if I take the 182 for 3 passengers, each person pays $13,000.
Yes,
Okay, I understand.
yes. No, Lior says that if you decide to split the flying hours not evenly, then you may want to split the cost of the flying.
Let's say for these several hours, it's a small money in comparison to this.
Correct.
Yeah.
I agree. Africa is not cheap. But
yeah,
that's what I can say. More questions, guys.
Yeah, another question regarding the accommodation, like also the question regarding the price per person if people are accommodating together, like
About the accommodation?
the same as for the plane. If people are sharing a plane and sharing the housing and
No, the accommodations are per 2 persons. It's based on double occupancy. And for example, when we are talking about, let's say, 3 pilots on the 182, it already includes the extra for a person that has single occupancy. So at that point, I will be able to tell you exactly how much is the difference here, because they did break it down for us. But it's double occupancy for each room or for each flight. More questions, Guy?
Alon, it sounds like the accommodation is a very big component when it comes to the cost. Why? Is there a plan perhaps to look at a more commercially affordable lodges, or these are just the way they are and that's it?
That's what they are doing. That's what they have in these places. There might be a way to find cheaper lodges, but I'm sorry, I'm not looking. It's a once in a lifetime trip, and I did this trip 2 times already. This once in a lifetime trip, and I don't want to what we say in Hebrew, להתקלב. I want to.
I'm here. I'm on the front.
ניר, תהיה במיוט בבקשה.
Alon, I suggest to double check the pricing because it seems a bit odd. If I calculate, for example, the 182 with 2 people on it, the 20,000 one, then it comes out to 15 hours, which is $3,600 just for the flight hours. That means 16,604 just for the rest of it, where it's less if you join another plane. The differences are very large here. So I think a breakdown would be easier to better understand what the pricing goes for.
I will try, but I didn't follow your calculation. If you want, you can send it to me later.
You said it's $40 per hour of 182 and 280 per hour of the 206.
Yes.
If I calculate 15-hour flight hours of the 182, it's $3,600 for the flight hours. Okay.
Yes.
And that is calculated, between the 2 people who are flying, so it can be half.
Split it
that means that the rest is really huge. It's more than $16,000 for accommodation, food, and stuff. Where if you're participating in a 206 or the lower 182, it doesn't make sense that you're paying less than what you have to pay only for the lodging and stuff.
Yes, the thing with the 182 with the 3 people is the single occupancy, I think.
Yeah, but it's
That's
less.
a part of
It's less money. The price is $13,000 compared to $20,000 per person. $17,000.
But 182 with 2 people and a safety pilot costs a lot more because less people are paying, and they have also to pay for the
I
safety.
understand, Alon, but when I'm taking off the flight hours, which is what we are splitting here, because other than that, everyone pays for everything. It doesn't make sense compared to the others.
Okay, send it to me later, and
Okay.
and I will share the findings later.
Yeah.
with
Okay.
everybody.
Are the prices per person?
Yes.
When it says safety pilot, it means that we have to take someone from them.
Yes.
Okay.
Unless if you have a pilot from your own, then it's not a safety pilot. It's one of us.
Yeah. So it has to be 3 people when it says safety pilot, or 4 people on the 206.
Yes. 206 with 3 passengers and 1 safety pilot. That's
Yes,
one
4
option.
passengers. Yes.
Again, when I'm saying passengers, I'm talking about us. Okay?
Yeah.
Pilots and passengers, etc.
Yeah, safety pilot is someone else.
Yes. Is local pilot. Any other questions, guys?
אלון, אהלן, רועי, יש לי שאלה, אני בעברית ברשותך.
יאללה.
קודם כל שלום לכולם. למי שאין רישיון על צסנה, מה צריך לעשות בארץ בשביל הדבר הזה? יש לנו רישיונות על דברים אחרים, או בזמנו עשינו על האולטרלייט. האם צריך להכין קודם משהו?
אז אני חושב שאתה צריך לעשות לפחות רישיון פרטי על חד מנועי בארץ. אני לא זוכר בדיוק אני לא יודע בדיוק מה הנוהל, צריך לבדוק את זה.
או האם מספיק שנבוא לשם אפילו יום קודם ונעשה שם את ה...
אני חושב שזה לא יספיק. אתה יודע מה, אני אבדוק את זה.
תודה.
מי שיש רישיון וליד על רב מנועי, לזה אתה מתכוון, נכון?
כן, יש לי רישיון דברים אחרים, אבל לא... טסטנות וכאלה.
כן.
Is the 182 is considered single engine piston? It's not it's a piston engine.
It's what?
Yes, it's a piston, yes.
Okay.
Along when it comes to weather, it's going to be winter time. I don't know what's the weather like over there during winter time. Is there, obviously things happen. What are your thoughts about it?
Roy and I also were there in flying safari, and this is the time to do the safaris because summer is very stormy and a lot of rain and clouds. Normally, what I had in all my trips there in the winter, it was a very good weather.
Okay. Okay.
Roy, your trip was also, I think, clear.
We were in September. As you said, the winter is the dry season over there, and this is the time to travel.
Yes.
And the weather at September was very nice. We were in short sleeves. I know that the trip before us, you arranged it also, was in June, and they used like sweater, like
yes,
like
we
that.
need sweaters in some of it.
So it's between sweaters and short sleeve September. I don't know.
So
The mid range.
Humidity and thunderstorms are more towards the summertime, and wintertime it's more dry and
exactly
colder, obviously.
Yes.
Okay.
Could be colder. Could be cold. It's not that cold.
Along because these are actually more advanced airplanes, do they require any minimal number of hours, like from experience point of view?
No, they didn't require anything like this.
Okay.
Other questions, guys? Okay, in that case, let me stop sharing. I am available for any questions if you remember anything. If you want to send me specific question, or like Eitan did, you want to break down something to make sure that we don't have any mistake there. And please get back to me as soon as possible with requests for reservation of seats, because we only have 4, maximum 5 planes on this trip. That's all. As soon as I get the recording, I will share it with you. And תודה רבה.
מתי תוכל לדאון פיימנט ראשון?
בהקדם, חודש.
חברים, תודה רבה, ערן, אני רוצה לראות אותך.
להתראות.
תודה רבה.